Welcome, everybody. Here we are for a special July 4th edition of the Great Western Podcast. We usually meet on Saturdays, but today is Friday. We got the boys in town today for episode 7. Boys, introduce yourselves. We'll start with Jay.
Jake, basketball aficionado, Laker lover, all things basketball.
Sylv?
I'm David, basketball historian.
There you go.
What's up, guys? Happy 4th of July. I'm Sylvain, Coach Theory, however you want to pronounce it.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today, boys. We got a lot, okay? Um, this is
Big
the first,
week.
yeah, big week. There's been so much happening in free agency. We're gonna get into that. But first, before we do that, we're gonna start with the Lakers sale. This is something that we've been wanting to talk about, the four of us together, for a couple weeks now, and now we got all four of us together in the same room, and we're gonna start there. The Lakers sale. Jerry Buss, rest in peace. The great owner of the Lakers. Um, Not anymore. Genie selling the team to Mark Walter and his group, who also own the Dodgers. Okay, we're gonna start with Sylvain on this one. What's your take on this? I know you were.
I was hoping to go last, but if you guys want me to
All
start,
right, you want you
I
want
don't know.
okay? You want to
It's
go last?
I
I'll,
mean,
Okay,
I'll, I'll,
so
I
shoot,
can start it
go
off,
ahead.
Sylvain, so you can flow off me, all right?
all right.
Okay.
Um, this is a big turning point in the NBA. Most of the valuations of NBA teams have grown so much that like single families or people can't buy them anyway. Like this is just classic, or not classic. I mean, this is is it a bubble? Like asset price valuations across all of America are blowing up. Is
Okay.
the Lakers brand worth $10 billion? The market says so. Um, I think it's probably the biggest brand in basketball. One thing that's interesting when trying to value these franchises is the Minnesota Timberwolves just finalized the deal like a couple weeks ago. They've been in like um they started a deal in like 2021 and it finally closed like just a couple weeks ago for 1.5 billion. Lakers come in over the top at 10 billion.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Is
huge
the
market.
Lakers like 6 or 7 times more valuable than the T-Wolves?
I would say
Maybe.
yes. I would say yes.
Or like did the Lakers overpay or did A-Rod just get a screaming deal on the T-Wolves? So, but yeah, it's just kind of bittersweet because the Lakers were like, this is a family-run business since I don't know when did they buy him? The 70s or 80s?
79.
Yeah, and so now all these franchises are so expensive, you need groups to buy them, or you need like it's
Yeah.
just the valuations are crazy.
Well, true, actually, you'd be interested in this because you like following money. Um, so the before the sale happened, there was a fundraiser by Mark, what's his name? Mark who? Mark Walter?
Yeah, Mark Walter.
What's his group name again? RF, I forget.
TWG Global.
There you go. So they did a fundraiser. Uh, Go check out who donated about $15 billion to them. You'll
Who?
have fun with that one.
Oh
I want
wow,
you
wait,
guys.
tell us.
No, don't leave
I
us in
want you guys. I
suspense.
want you guys to go look
Don't
it up.
leave me in suspense, dude.
Who was
Well,
it?
I'll tell you this. It's not who you'd expect, but it makes sense.
It's what? I mean,
All
Yeah.
right,
that's
reveal it for the pod. Reveal it for all
please.
the people
I'm
that
on my
are
So
following.
it's essentially Qatar.
Qatar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Saudi
oil
money.
money.
I was not gonna
Oh,
guess
wow.
Middle Eastern country. I was gonna
Wait, wait,
I was gonna go like country or
$15
something.
billion fundraiser?
They did a fundraiser because the group was trying to invest in sports. And obviously there was probably some hush hush about like, hey, we actually want to buy the Lakers. I'm not sure about that. You can't quote me on that. But if you're raising 15 billion, if you're doing a fundraiser and some guys dropping 15 bill, you got to have a plan in play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
this had been going on behind closed doors for a minute. Anyways,
It's
Wow.
to move out of the conspiracy theories and into, the basketball world, obviously growing up a Laker fan from very young, there's a lot to say from the heart, there's a lot to say from the mind from a basketball perspective. Um, I think from a basketball perspective, this is great for the brand, for the Lakers brand. Me coming from a fan, it's very hurtful. I kind of look at this as, if you, I don't know if you guys have ever been, but when you're in a relationship with a girlfriend that you've been trying to break up with forever, and there's not that like one thing that's like, all right, like this is it. For me, that was it. Like I had been wanting to break up with the Lakers for so long as a fan because I didn't like the direction of the team. I didn't like what I was seeing on the floor. Obviously, I don't like LeBron James. And so I was excited when Luka came along, thinking, okay, now I see a vision towards the future, right? Um, but to me, it's not just about LA. It's not just about the name on the jersey. It's about what that name represents. And being, a little kid coming from France and barely speaking English when I first put on a Lakers jersey, my Nick Van Exel jersey, that was my
There
first
you go.
jersey. The Bus family was always a part of it, you know? And for the Bus family to go, I'm done with this, to me that was kind of the nail in the coffin. I was like, you know what? There's that excuse that I've been needing forever to have it no longer feel like my team. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? From a basketball perspective, I wish them luck. Obviously the NBA needs the Lakers to be good. They need that LA fan base, and I think this is the right move for them basketball wise. They lost me as a fan when they signed LeBron. But
So
this is
you're officially
You're
no
denouncing
longer a
your
Lakers
Lakers.
fan.
I look, by force of habit, I will probably keep saying my team because I did that for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But that, now that Bus is gone, it just doesn't feel like my team. And I wish them luck, and they actually have a bright future. And we're gonna get in the
Wow.
LeBron trade, right? The possible LeBron trade
Yeah,
right now.
we'll get into that, but
You
This
heard
is
it
what
here,
I've been
folks.
waiting for as a quote
You heard it
unquote
here,
Lakers
folks.
fan. This is what I've been waiting for forever, for this day to come, you know?
The nail in the coffin.
The nail in the coffin was, I love the Bus family. Jeannie Buss, I basically had a crush on her as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
I met
I
her.
think I think
Chairman's
she
luck.
still has like a small percentage. I think she held on to
Dude, I thought you
a
were
little
about
bit,
to
right?
say, I think she's still single.
I think she's still with the team, and I think it's
Yeah, yeah. So
some
she's
type of
governor.
capacity. She's a governor, right? I don't know what exactly what that's going to entail, but I mean, I
Obviously, it was an emotional hit, and you know me, anything I could bash on LeBron, I was like, all right, LeBron is the ultimate franchise killer, which I still believe. You know, um,
I think it's a
Bus
great
family said
opportunity.
no more.
yeah. What do you got,
I think
Jay?
it's a great I think it's a great opportunity for new ownership to come in and kind of create some like a new energy throughout the franchise. And I think they're gonna bring their checkbooks first and foremost,
Yes.
right? And
Yup.
so they're not gonna be scared to spend the money. And that's kind of always been the Laker tradition, right? As you go out and you find the best players, you find the best system, you find the best team, you find the best coach. And so I think the new management, the new ownership is going to carry on that tradition because he did it with the Dodgers, right? Mark
Proven track record.
Walter.
Walter, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it's interesting though. I mean, he's making a bid to buy a lot of the LA teams, and it's a huge push. And I mean, I commend him for that as a businessman. I think that's impressive. I
Yeah.
think going after the LA teams and investing in them is
Yeah, it's a big
it's
move.
very Steve Ballmer-ish.
Oh, if you those franchises like the Dodgers especially, like if they win, it's going to be that much better for you. So if you're ownership and you're willing to you got to be willing to spend the money in LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
real quick to touch base on what Mark said, if they
but
win. Obviously as a fan, you want your team to win. I also thought about can the Lakers win me back, as a fan. And I said, well, they need to do a lot. One thing they need to do is get rid of LeBron immediately. And we're already talking about
well,
the
okay.
future.
Yeah, I mean we're,
Second,
we're definitely
if they do come through and win a chip with Luka within the next, five or so, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, great. I'm gonna still watch. It just, for it to feel like my team is gonna take a lot.
What was your honest assessment, Sylvain, of Luka before he joined the Lakers?
I was a big fan of his. I hadn't followed when he first came in the league, he was a lot quicker. And he was a lot sharper. It seemed like he was losing a step, and maybe, clearly that seems like it's due to conditioning. But he is one of the most cerebral, intelligent players in that the league has seen. Offensively, with the way the game is played today, he's basically untouchable, meaning like he has every move in the book and then some. Um, it's not a high fly act, but he is crafty as heck, and so I'm stoked. He's one of the greatest players in the league, and he's somebody who's young and that you can build around. Now, you just mentioned, True, that he doesn't have that much of a window, but how old is he? He's 26,
Yeah.
right? So even if he
An old
plays well,
26.
even if he plays well for 5 years, like top of the league for 5 years, that gives you a good window to build a championship team. So basketball wise, this is a great move for the Lakers, of course.
Look, a couple weeks ago or whatever, a few weeks ago, we did a show and you guys mentioned who you want at the end of the game. Do you want
Right.
Anthony Edwards? Do you want Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Do you want Luka? And
Hmm.
who is the fourth?
It was those three only, I
It was
think.
those three, and that's a great discussion.
Guys, it's Luka all day.
No, it's Shea, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, okay, because hear me out. SGA, great player. He doesn't have that fire like Luka. Luka's got like this like engine that runs that is like he's like he goes into this different zone that we've all seen where
Yeah.
you see him like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
like he
catching
like
fire
blacks
when
out
Luka
and he
catches
gets
fire.
crazy. Anthony Edwards is not as smart of a player as Luka. So he's like Luka is this like perfect balance in between SGA
Nice
and
take.
Anthony Edwards. So if you ask me, I'm taking Luka all day.
I would say SGA is the perfect balance between Luka and Edwards.
I mean, what my to my argument, like SGA, like to me, he did well. He did what he did, but I never really saw like kind of like Sylvain was saying, like I never really saw that fire in SGA in the throughout the finals. He just kind of like coasted and did what he does, which is respectable. But I think Halliburton playing in Game 7, they're winning that game all day.
Right. Went over that.
So
I
he
yeah.
kind of got lucky. You know what I mean? Like he was able to like be the final.
Aaron Gordon blew out his calf or something too in game seven too.
Exactly.
So
Like they had this
you got to get
they had
lucky
the
to win.
Cinderella run.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
with SGA, you got to give him his flowers now. NBA
oh,
MVP.
absolutely.
He just won out. He won the chip, and he obviously had a great team. And
He had a great series.
in the context of star power, you can make kind of 1A, 1B, 1C kind of thing assessments between those guys. And just to the point of the concept of the Lakers sale with Luka coming to LA, it's definitely a great time, to kind of a passing of the torch out of the LeBron era. It was a shock to me, and as I'm sure to all of us, it was it felt like it came out of nowhere, this Lakers sale. Now, a couple of weeks later, you're like, okay, yeah, it's like it makes sense, it's happening, and we're like rationalizing it. But when it happened a few weeks ago, I was like, what? Really? What do you mean?
Yeah.
The kind of like to what Sylvain was alluding to earlier. And I think about that too. It's a little bit bittersweet because I was also there, watching those games. And when I think about like my Lakers, I don't think about LeBron. I think about Shaq and Kobe and Ori and Fisher and all those guys. That's when I
And the
think
Exactly.
about,
Bus family.
yeah, and I think about the Bus family. But like there's a little bit of nostalgia with
Big
that.
Burn.
There's a little bit of, yeah, the Jellos jiggling and all that stuff. There's a little
Yeah.
nostalgia. There's a nostalgia factor that like it's hard, but I feel like you gotta let the past be the past.
Yeah.
What the future, especially like we were saying, when the money talks right now, and in these sports franchises, you got to be willing to write the checks. Look what's happening with Indiana with Miles Turner, like devastating the fan base by letting Turner go. But to that point, I do think that for the Lakers, uh, this is great. This is a great move, and it's going to be really telling to see what happens right now because so far, who have we re-signed? We got the Lakers got Aiton, okay, and a lot of people have a lot of different takes on Aiton. As the former number one pick, what's he gonna bring? Is like there's so many memes of him like barely going for like a
Over Luka, picked over Luka.
yeah. Oh, is he like
Oh
is he
wow, they're in the
yeah
same draft.
yeah, is
Same
he like
draft.
Oh, wow.
Is he like a empty big man stat? Can he actually is he gonna come play with with like energy and grit? But the Lakers have to re envision themselves and kind of create a new kind of spark. For me, I love the Lakers, and they're still my team, and I'm always gonna root for them. And it is kind of hard, but when we got Luka, even this year, we were so excited. I was so excited. They went on this great run with Luka. Like, oh wow, these guys are good. Yeah, and like Sylvain was like, oh, this is not for real. And then they make to the third they get to the third spot, right? And then they go to the playoffs and they get bounced by in five. But it's like, all right, we got to blow this up, dude. So yeah, so that goes into it. It's like, well, so far, when I see what the Lakers offseason has been, we signed Aiton, which is like, let's see. There could it could he it could be great. It could be like, okay, like not much. We signed Jackson Hayes to a 1 year deal. That's whatever. We missed out on a lot of other centers. We lost Dorian Finney-Smith. That was
That's the one right there.
we
That's
lost him,
huge.
and I thought that was a well. I wanted him to be on the team in the modern NBA 3-and-D. He was Luka's homie. I liked him on the team, but he went. He's in a better situation with the Rockets, and there's that all that stuff about Palinka like sabotaging like his like trade value or something by saying he was like injured about his knee. But we're gonna see where it goes. I'm gonna be a Laker fan.
If we start with Chu, you wanted to do winners and losers of the free agency. To me, the Lakers right now, and it's just for this season, is a
Yeah,
big L,
big
big
L,
losers.
big
Because
L.
we needed a bit, we needed a big.
How everyone
We got a
Don't
feels?
big. We got Aiden. You don't believe in Aiden at all.
hold on. Miles Turner was a possibility. We struck out on him. He went to Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez, don't really care for him, but the Lakers were trying to get him. He went to the Clippers.
They got him to
Okay.
back
Steven
up.
Adams,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Steven Adams. We could have had him at a great price. We struck out on him. Okay. True, you said it the other day. What world do we live in where it's hard for the Lakers to get a free agent? Well, we
It's
live in the
weird.
twilight years
Yeah.
of LeBron James. You
Yeah.
think any of these guys want
Amen.
to come play while LeBron is on the team? Same thing happened at the end of Kobe's career. No one
Same
wanted.
thing with Luka.
Well, Luka, we can't say that nobody wants to come play with Luka Doncic.
But it's not like Halliburton or someone, that really moves the rock.
You, so you're saying that people would
I
rather
think I
go
think on
play with
average,
Halliburton
obviously
than
the market
Luka?
is the market depend is it's fit dependent, right? But I would say people would much rather play with a player like Halliburton than Luka.
Okay, that's very debatable, but we could get into that. Before we get into
I,
that, I was trying to tap in on the LeBron situation, right? If you were the Lakers manager right now, what would you do? Is there a trade out there? Does that trade
nobody's
make
nobody's
sense?
trying to trade for
Or
LeBron.
Yeah, I don't think
I
anyone's going to
agree
trade
with
for
you.
LeBron.
So the Lakers see him as an expiring contract. We didn't extend
Right.
him.
Right.
Thank God. Thank God. This is the day I've been waiting for so freaking long. Because as a
Let,
Laker fan, if all we've gotten was one Mickey Mouse chip out of this and just horrendous the rest of the way, I'm pissed, you know?
it's horrendous. I wouldn't say it was horrendous.
Yeah, I'm
What
with
do we
Jay. I'm
got?
with Jay.
Hold
I'm not.
on.
I'm
Jay,
not a
what do we
Lakers
got?
fan.
What were the highlights aside from the bubble chip?
I mean, we went to the Western Conference Finals and lost
And
to
got annihilated, swept. We didn't
It
even
was, but
belong
it was the
there.
gentleman
closest
sweep.
sweep ever. It was the closest sweep of all time. It was the most cut.
Exactly.
The bar as a Laker fan has been lowered if we're celebrating the closest sweep of all
We're
time.
not
It's a
celebrating. We're just
joke,
talking
bro.
about
It's
the
a
high. We're
joke,
just saying
dude.
that they
That's
they,
the
they have a
highlight?
chance.
That's the
It's
highlight?
not,
Okay. All right. 9 years.
I mean, LeBron's had a myriad of highlight plays throughout with the Lakers.
Yeah,
Also,
he's
like
real. His career is highlights.
yeah. So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna back up for a second and just say that all the bigs and everybody that was on the market in free agency, like I wasn't impressed with any of them, honestly. So I don't really think that we missed out on much.
You weren't impressed
Like,
with Miles Turner?
I'm
Did you
not
see
the way
Miles
that
Turner? No, not for 20
nah, the
million
way
or
he
whatever.
performed in the finals, like not showing up and like
He
just
played
getting
good
like kind of
defense,
bully
but he
balled
didn't
by
do
Chet,
anything.
like
Yeah.
he didn't impress me.
Yeah.
Clint Capella could have been a good pickup, but he's not to me, he doesn't move the needle. Brooke Lopez is 36,
Yeah.
37.
I'm with you, dude.
That doesn't move the needle for me. Clever.
I agree with you that Brooke Lopez doesn't really move them. I don't even like Brooke Lopez, you know.
So I don't
But
think any of the
he
bigs
was our
really moved
choice
the
over
needle.
Aiden. Aiden, first of all,
He's from the 818, by the way.
Yeah.
Lopez.
Is he really?
I think
Yeah.
he went to North Hollywood High, I believe.
No, he went to Harvard Westlake.
Harper Westlake.
I, I think
Oh,
the
you think he's
Lakers are
from
holding
North
out for
Hollywood?
I think the Lakers are holding out for Giannis.
There we go. That now we're talking. Now this is the Laker fandom we need. You know,
I think
a, del-
And
a
how would
kind
that
of
happen, dude?
a belief.
You know he's under contract.
Yeah.
well, yeah, everyone's under contract, but
Dalton connect Rui Hachimura in a second.
And
And
Austin
drop
Reeves.
LeBron James in there.
Yeah, well, there was that talk about Wiggins, but like I don't think that's gonna move the needle either. Giving up Rui and Connect and some picks for Wiggins is not gonna do it. It's the kind of thing where I understand this mentality of like it's all or nothing, and if it's not a championship caliber team, then it's a failure. Like I don't really buy into that narrative.
But
I
that's
think
what
like
LeBron wants.
well, if
He
no,
wants to
that's what you
compete. He
want. That's what
said,
you want. That's what
no,
you
no, no,
want.
no, no, no. LeBron said this year he wants to compete for a championship,
Yeah,
right?
so if he really wanted to do that, I mean, if he really wanted to do it, then like he's on the books for like 52 mil. You
52
know,
mil.
I don't think there isn't he has to take like a pay cut or restructure his deal or
He
something.
wasn't gonna do
I
that.
know he's not going to do that, but I'm saying you don't have enough money to bring in unless this group are they going to go into they don't care how much luxury tax they're going to pay. They're going to go into the cap and spend all these hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties to bring in like talent. Like if they do that, great. I mean I'll pay more for a ticket for that, I guess. I mean that's the modern NBA. But
But you have to have players willing to come.
but Austin Reeves, unfortunately, I feel like he doesn't fit well next to Luka, just
That's
because
the
of the
problem.
lack of defense and the perimeter quickness, and they both need the ball in their hands. I think LeBron can play well off. I think LeBron did play well off of Luka.
absolutely.
I think he played really well as the non-ball dominant on the offense. I think it opened up LeBron's game both ways when I was watching. It just there wasn't enough around them. I still think LeBron can be on a championship team, but with Aiton, it did. I don't. I just they're not deep enough. I don't know if they have enough tenacity. They don't have enough defense. You know what we've.
So
Yeah.
my biggest problem with DeAndre Ayton is his lack of effort.
Yeah.
There's like a myriad of clips circling where he's just watching the ball. And I'm excited to see JJ Redick just,
Oh yeah.
just get up on him and just be like, dude, what is that? You know what I mean? Because this to me is DeAndre Ayton's last shot,
Yep. Yep.
in my opinion. Obviously, like I just think we signed him for what, the mid-level, so it's not like we have
Yeah,
like
he
a
has a player
huge,
option
Yeah.
second year.
yeah, it's not like a huge financial commitment, but like this is his opportunity to really like prove himself, his last moment. And
He's gonna be
people say he's
benched
not
like
a lob
Jackson
threat, but I
Hayes.
think Luka kind of turns all bigs into a lob threat.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Yep.
so
Yep.
we're
Yeah,
gonna see.
except Aiton is not. I mean, I've never seen that guy jump.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's had a couple
effort
bad.
is definitely a question. The locker room is a question, but now, you're in the locker room with LeBron James, who's
Right.
obviously going to get up on you.
Yep.
JJ Redick's going to get on you. Uh, you
Yep.
know, I think we need more vets. I mean, the
Yeah. We
Lakers
need
are
You
more
need a
bad.
wing.
the
We need a
Lakers are in
wing.
trouble.
Well, we could, if maybe the emergence of Connect can get some scoring, but let's see if I mean let's see how it goes. You know, I mean the free agency is not over. I mean, do you think we're gonna move Austin Reeves? Is that I mean, it seems like that's kind of like the writing's on the wall on that, or is it not? Are we gonna move him?
Austin Reeves for Giannis straight up.
Yeah, we go. Amazing.
What's a realistic Austin Reeves trade that will upgrade the roster? Like, have you guys heard any ones
There aren't any.
that you
I
like?
haven't heard anything at the beginning of
There aren't any.
before free agency. It was like we got to move Austin, we got to move Austin, we got to. I thought it was going to happen right away, and then it's been kind of crickets on that front. Maybe like because because he doesn't have a big contract, right? Like
That's the problem. Yeah, it's got to be Rui and Austin Reeves for
yeah,
in a pick for like a big wing, like a Siakam or something. You know, that's the type of.
someone like a starting play experienced guy. So.
We'll see.
I mean, it's fun. It's a fun time because I do agree with Sylvain in the sense that like it's been kind of tough to like watch the Lakers over the last few years and kind of like there's been some moments where it's been fun for root for them, but they've been kind of middling. But
I
that's
look at the
We'll
season
see.
as, I didn't want it to happen, but it's inevitable. Uh, LeBron's farewell tour, man. It's his last season. It's gotta be, you know. If that's in a Lakers jersey, then cool, expiring contract. If there is a scenario where we could trade him and build for the future with that, I would take it 100%. But I don't think that scenario is going to present itself because who's going to be the takers? No championship team is going to gut out their roster. Maybe there's a scenario where he go plays with Steph, but what contracts are there that the Lakers would want to take on? Maybe there's a scenario where he goes to Mavericks. I was reading if they send over Gafford, Christie, and like a handful of other players, which Mavericks are in a win now situation.
Right.
Does trading Gafford and a couple other guys to come to the Lakers and LeBron go to the Mavericks, put the Mavericks in a win now situation? I said when the Luka Doncic trade happened, it's a fantastic trade for the Mavericks. Of course, AD went down, Kyrie went down, and so it was disastrous, right? And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, look how great the Lakers are and look how terrible the Mavs are." And I said, "Just wait, guys. Next year, fully squatted, that Mavericks team is dangerous." That's
Well,
without
now they're dangerous because they got Cooper Flag, but that wasn't part of the
I
plan
mean,
when they
even
traded him.
without Cooper Flag, they were still a solid team in the West. You add Cooper Flag, who's still a big question mark. I still have Dylan Harper having a better career than Cooper.
Dang.
Hot
That's
take,
just my
Hot take.
take. I mean,
hot
Dylan
take.
Harper is a skilled player. Cooper Flag is just beast, right? I go for skill over beast, brain over brawn. I go with anybody over brawn.
So it seems like it's really going to be a battle of LA next season.
Oh yeah.
Who's
For the play-in seed, yeah, for the play-in.
yeah.
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 No, I mean, it seems like the Clippers are really making a push. It's I think they're a legitimate threat. This is kind of like I feel like this might be the last dance for that team.
I love Brooke Lopez as a starting center, no, but as a backup,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
if
great
you
move.
look that they took the Clippers took the Nuggets to 7. So we're let's transition to Clippers a little bit
Wait,
for
can I do one can I do one little riff on Jerry Buss, how I met him one time?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Okay,
is
so
Lakers dominant talk here. Let's do it. Let's keep it
yeah,
moving.
now that I mean it's all good. It's the Great Western Pod. So in 2008, I worked at Hollywood Park Casino as a host in the poker room, and during the finals, Jerry Buss was really superstitious, and so I guess for the first three-peat, Jerry Buss, like the first game of the fine of some playoffs in 1999 or 2000 when they first won it, he played a poker game at Hollywood Park Casino. So every playoff game he would come in, or every finals game I think he would come in to Hollywood Park Casino, and they won the three-peat. And so fast forward to 2008, he had to keep the tradition alive. I'm in the finals. I have to come back. So for every finals game that wasn't in Staples, the away games, he would watch it in the casino,
Hmm.
and he would come
Wow.
in with like two super hot chicks, one blonde, one brunette, in short, tight dresses. And he would
Okay.
play games so big, like the stakes were so big that all of like the local pros at the casino would pull their money together and back one guy, and they would play one on one and watch the finals game.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a great
Really?
story.
yeah. So
I
he was
love
just cool. He
that.
was nice, super nice guy. He came in with
Yeah.
he was probably like 75, and he came in with like two like 23-year-olds.
Well, he
It was
was
just
well
great.
Rest in
liked.
peace.
Yeah, right. He
And
was
he
well.
and now he secured the bag for his progeny for the next like 10
I mean,
generations. So
it
respect to
wasn't
that guy.
Bus's vision. It wasn't Bus's vision that the team stays run by the family. That's how he had set it up. And, less than 12, 13 years later, they sell. I'm sure he's more than stoked that his family got a bag, but, he rest in peace, Dr. Bus. I think there's part of him and obviously Jeannie that really didn't want to sell.
Yeah,
So
who knows? She hasn't, I mean, I haven't really seen her being too public about it and why and kind of giving
I'm
explanation.
sure years from now it'll come out what happened, Jimmy Bus put pressure, blah
$10
blah
billion
blah.
dollars is what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Money talks, I guess.
I mean, it's not, I don't think they were struggling, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
Um,
there was
so so
he was
so
big.
so rounding out the Lakers talk. The Lakers have always gone for big game hunting, right?
Yeah.
Will that work? That's worked in the old NBA when the balance of talent was more spread out. But now everyone's so good, it's like you almost want to have a bunch of solid players than a few of like the very, very best. But this is the stat I wanted to show you guys
Yes.
relating to LeBron. Okay. DeAndre Ayton will become the ninth number one overall pick to team up with LeBron.
Yeah.
The nine are
Okay, can we
Ayton.
name them? Can you name them?
Okay. How good are you? Let's see. Who can you guys name the nine number one overall
Kyrie,
picks to play with
Kyrie
LeBron?
AD.
DeAndre,
Wiggins,
What's that? Kyrie AD.
DeAndre.
DeAndre Ayton.
Wiggins, or not Wiggins. What's his name? The guy they traded.
Chew,
I'll,
go ahead and
I'll come
list
back
them.
to it. I'll come back
Go
to it.
ahead, Chew.
Oh, hold on.
Ayton.
I got one. I got one. I have one. I have one. Joe Smith.
Yes.
Yo,
Joe
Joe
Smith
Smith.
is on
Yeah,
there.
he played for the
Shaquille
Bucks.
O'Neal.
Oh, Shaq.
Shaq is on there.
Shaq and Joe
Yeah.
Smith. Hold on. Don't give it away yet. Hold on. There's like
How
okay,
many are we at right
we
now?
have
Joe
five
Smith.
right now, right?
You're at five.
We have
Okay.
four more.
The-
Give us some hints. Like, but
I
don't
mean,
give
he's
away.
Okay,
played with the entire
one is
team.
our age, and he's got he played for the Magic and was traded to the Lakers, where he won a
Dwight
chip. Or
Howard,
Dwight
Dwight
Howard.
Howard. Nice.
The other guy is the most
Go.
explosive athlete probably to ever play the game,
Anthony
and
Davis,
No.
he was a point guard, and he won an MVP also, and his career
Derrick
was cut
Rose.
short.
Derrick
D Rose,
Rose. Oh, Rajon
yeah,
Rondo. Rondo's not a point. Never mind.
no,
Rondo.
no. And the other
Derrick
two you
Rose.
guys aren't gonna get
Hold on.
Andrew
Hold on.
Bogut and Greg Oden.
Bogut. Oh, that's right. Where did he play with Bogut? In
I
Cleveland?
think he probably played with him
Cleveland.
in Cleveland, right?
And then the other
But
one was what? Last one?
Oh wait,
Greg Oden.
Bogut was that?
that's
Odin.
that's
Odin in Miami. Odin was in Miami. They brought him over.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was his
Play.
last season. Odin's last season.
That's
like to me. These are just this is such a LeBron hater stat, dude. Like that is like
oh,
the ultimate LeBron hater
okay.
stat.
I'll spin that around. I think people. I think, and Sylvain too. Addicted, known LeBron hater, addicted to hating LeBron. Okay, to throw that in there. I think his legacy is so easily diminished from people. The fact that he's doing this, and I know Jay's with me on this too. The numbers he's putting up, the all-time NBA leading scorer. Like he's 20 going into his 23rd season, legendary. Okay, say what you will about the sideshow about Bronny playing with his son in the NBA. I'm
I
impressed.
love
You got to give the
You
king.
could not be impressed by the fact that he plays with the son in the NBA. It's like the
That's
biggest
impressive
example of
to me.
nepotism ever, dude. Like that you can there's so much to be
I
impressed
think it's a
about.
cool storyline. I think okay,
There's
I
so
don't
much
think
to be
either should
impressed
be in the league at this point.
about LeBron James's career. The last thing that you should be impressed about is that he like held the Lakers hostage to sign
Okay, fine.
his
Right.
son
Say
to a
what you will.
contract.
As a Laker, like, I don't think he held the organization captive. They did it. They went for it. They did it. They entertained it. It's not
yeah.
his fault. Like they did it.
It's
And
a business, guys. It's a
and I and
business.
I think LeBron has an amazing career. Okay, say what you will. Super teams this, whatever. They lost in the finals. The guy was a prolific player. He's one of the best players in NBA history, maybe the best player in NBA history. Maybe. Like he's
And
the GOAT, dude.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna
yeah,
sit here, I'm a Kobe fan, but like
of
obviously,
course.
you know?
But we pay respect. You got respect for a game when you see it.
Yeah. And
He's do you guys remember the old Transformers movie from like 1985? There's the giant planet that goes around eating all the other planets.
the
His name
Cybertron,
was his name was Galvatron.
Galvatron,
That's like what LeBron James is. He goes around, he takes all the resources from one team, completely wins a championship or two, depletes it, and then hops to the next one.
Oh, you're feeding right into Sylvain's.
You're
You're
so,
like
look
you
at the
feed his
smile.
Venus
I'm not
flytrap.
saying nothing, man.
Yeah, okay, I get this idea like the NBA is different than what it was, like before LeBron and after LeBron. So better for worse. I don't know, I think it's for the better. I
I
think
mean, look, you have player entitlement now as a rookie. Who's that rookie on the Jazz who like came
Ace
in?
Bailey, Ace Bailey.
Ace
There
Bailey,
you go.
yeah.
He got drafted by the Jazz and was like, no, I'm not happy here. And it's like, bro, you would
Yeah.
have like That would have never
Not
happened back in the day.
LeBron's fault. You can't blame what's happening in,
Player entitlement. There's certain
is
players,
that LeBron's fault that it Ace
in a
Bailey?
way, yes.
No way, yeah.
Player entitlement, like who is more entitled ever and
It's,
has had the
it's,
NBA like bend over backwards for?
it's
You know,
LeBron's fault that Halliburton blew his
yeah,
Achilles.
honestly,
Exactly, that as
it's
well.
LeBron's fault that the
Okay.
NBA is soft now, and because it is,
That too.
yeah, exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, keep it going,
Exactly. No, no, no. But seriously, which other player has manipulated franchises and leagues more than LeBron? Nobody,
Hey, so
Okay,
right?
yeah. Look,
All right.
you can say
Right.
all you, but look, okay, like straight up, okay, did he manipulate the teams or did the teams let him do that? Right? The teams,
I mean, it's both. It's
not
both.
his fault. He wanted it. He moved to Miami.
Look, when
They
you're gonna
still
when
did
you're
it.
gonna go on ESPN primetime for the decision, like your ego is doing things. You can't say that's not his fault. If you're going out there and demanding trades, trying to get Westbrook instead of, other players that can come and
Instead
make
of
a real
Caruso.
impact on your team, there's a reason why they call him La GM. There's a reason why people say he's a franchise killer. Okay?
I
There's a
believe
reason
that.
for it,
I believe it. But the thing is
right?
also it takes two to tango, right? Like all
Absolutely.
these teams, all these
Absolutely.
if you
Sure.
want to blame if you want to blame the Heat, blame the Cavs,
Yeah,
blame
and
the
that's why
Lakers.
I've been so upset
That's
with the
fine.
Lakers forever. Like it was the dumbest thing in the world to get this guy and just listen to everything he says. Get Westbrook. That was an atrocious decision when we had DeMar DeRozan ready to come, who would have been a much better fit, right?
Sure.
Bronny James on that. You realize we're playing Bronny James 3 mil. He's taken up a roster spot on the Lakers. 3 more years we're paying this guy.
Well, according to Mark, that was like one of the most impressive
It
things
was
about LeBron.
to me, yeah, it was not the most impressive, but like, hey, that's legendary to play with your son in the league. I mean, yeah, maybe
100%.
it's a cheesy thing. Sure,
100%.
Bro, if you
I'm
stick
not
around,
against it.
anyone else could stick around, you know? Like there's tons
Okay,
of players that could just be like, it's all about my legacy. Let me see what I can do to expand my legacy. Oh, I want to play with my son. Yeah, stick around, find a team that's willing to pay you, 50 mil a season and don't do anything.
it's showtime. It's the Lakers. The Lakers are always
Yeah.
have always
Has
been
it been
about
Showtime?
showtime.
Have you watched
Yeah.
the game and said, "Oh, this is Showtime right here"? It's
Well,
been
the
atrocious.
showtime element that I'm referring to is the storyline, right? It's the
Sure,
storyline of the father son.
sure, the
Yes,
narrative.
yes,
That's
Yeah, the
yes.
that's he has
narrative.
the
So
greatest narrative in sports history.
I wouldn't say that.
Narrative. He
I
has the
wouldn't.
greatest career, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just I feel like it's one of those things that when he's gone, you're gonna be like, wow,
I'm
good.
gonna be like, thank God,
Yeah,
now I
and I'm
can
gonna be
watch
like,
basketball
he
again.
left a meteor. Like he came in. He was the king. He was the anointed one before. I mean, I remember watching his first game against Sacramento when he got that first steal and went down and like slammed back and like, like it was just
he's the greatest athlete we've ever seen.
and yeah,
Yes.
his commitment to his body, his commitment to and like the shape
We,
he's in at this age, like you gotta give him, fine, say what you will about, like winning or this and that, but I mean, he's not and his career age well. His shot he developed his shot, he developed his free throw, he developed a lot of things, and he's been a great
he's
two-way
the
player.
most physically gifted athlete we've ever seen on this planet.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So
He should have
He's
played
I have a
definitely
question.
football.
he's the greatest athlete to ever live.
Should have been a
And
running
I think
back.
he's the second best basketball player of all time. And dude, you cannot take that away from him. He is
Yeah.
incredible. He is amazing. I've got a LeBron or Lakers Clippers trade. Who says no? LeBron to the Clippers
Okay.
for Bogdanovich, Norm Powell, and I forgot the other one. It's the small forward that played on the Mavs, whatever his name is.
Is Norm Powell an expiring contract?
Batum? No, Batum is Batum?
No,
No.
He
what's
may
his
be the
name?
greatest athlete we've ever seen,
No, no.
but I still, at this moment, would not trade Norman Powell away from the Clippers for LeBron.
Yeah.
I think
See, that's
Norman
that's
Powell
just
is an absolute dog.
Yeah.
I would love LeBron James on the Clippers. I'll tell you that for his 24th season. Bring it, dude. That would
Imagine
be
Norman
one year
Powell,
awesome.
goes over there with teams up. I mean, it would be cool for him to team up with like Steph, or Kawhi or someone in like or even a Durant type, but obviously he's not going to the Rockets. But like I think it'd be cool if like if Steph, like and LeBron teamed up because they're the old guard, and they're only a couple more years left. Imagine
Well,
imagine
I just
in Golden State with Jimmy and Steph.
that'd be sick. But I don't know why he opted into his contract because if he wanted to,
Because no
it
one
doesn't
else is
make
going to pay
sense.
him.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah, but
else
he
is
could
going
have
to
he
pay
could
him
have
50
opted
mil.
out and signed somewhere for like 35 mil. And it
You
would have been
think
so
Dad's
much
going to
easier.
take a
And
pay
then
cut?
that
No
the
way.
season would be so sick. Like if he was smart, he'd go east, right? He'd go east where everyone's injured.
Back to
That's
Cleveland. Go back to
back to
Cleveland,
Cleveland.
maybe.
If he was smart.
All right.
Well, let's get into the trades.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like we might have to hold off on that. Honestly,
You
there's
can't
so
have the entire
Yeah,
pod be about the Lakers.
of course we
yeah, it
can.
can.
Of course we
Yeah, it
can.
can.
I think no, because I think it's been about what 40 minutes now. It's been all Lakers, all LeBron Lakers sale.
That was awesome because it was good banter because all of us have such strong opinions of the
Yeah,
Lakers,
I
you know?
think we
Like
should wait. I think we should wait on the trades. I mean, and the free agency. Let's see more happens, and then maybe we can see, we can do some more draft recaps. I mean, MB trade recaps like once a little more of the dust settles. Yeah, but that was hot. I mean, it looks like here we have two pro late LeBron right now with Jay and I, and then we have Sylvain.
no, I'm pro
Big,
LeBron.
yeah, big hater. Chew pro LeBron, but like not as much as maybe me and Jay. But yeah, so I mean, look.
He's incredible. He's obviously the guy was born to play basketball, the biggest freak
Yeah.
athlete we've ever seen. Like, but yeah, dude, if you were told that you were the greatest ever since you were like, imagine. I was thinking about this. Imagine, remember how we all had PE together, and there was like a PE coach. Imagine LeBron James's PE coach when he was like 9, and that PE coach was like, "Well, that one's faster than all the other ones." Like,
That
imagine that
one.
guy.
This kid's gonna, yeah. I mean, he was the king
Of
before
course,
he
you're going to be
was
a kind
dribbled
of
the
So
ball in the
imagine,
entitled.
NBA.
imagine this. Imagine this. You're supposedly the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
You've also had more help than anybody ever. You've also
Truth.
manipulated
Okay,
teams,
hold
and
on.
at the end of your career, you end up with 3.5 chips. Whereas there's other people with five, there's other people with six.
Okay, so first of all, those first like 5, 6, 7 years when he was starting with Booby Wilson and a Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Anderson Varejao. And
Kobe had Chucky Atkins and Smush Parker,
no, we're not
bro.
talking about Lakers.
In the West.
No,
In
we're
the
not talking about that.
West.
He had like his running mate was Mo Williams. You know what I mean? Like he dragged a Cleveland team to the
And
deep
did
in the
nothing.
finals. But talk about help.
And
Okay,
they
and then
got to the
he,
finals.
yeah, he take him to the finals. Like he got over that
In
hit
the
with his
East.
team.
In the East.
Went to the
There was
finals like
nothing
10
there.
years in a row, dude. And he went to the finals like 10 years in a row. And also like maybe, just maybe the reason why that whole thing with Miami happened was because Cleveland didn't put enough talent around him and just thought that he could be Superman and
So
beat
what
everyone
about
by
that
himself.
conversation with Dwayne Wade after Kobe got his fifth chip? Dwayne Wade hitting up LeBron saying, "We got to stop this."
That's pretty sick.
I'm saying I don't think that you can look at that and say that was the turning point of the NBA where the league went south. I think that was, yeah, it wasn't me fun for
No,
a
no, no, no,
and
no.
they
That's
that
not that's not what I'm
those
trying to
Heat teams
say.
he's
I'm
dominate. Those
trying to
Heat
say
teams
if you're this
dominated.
GOAT, if you're this self-proclaimed GOAT, how do you end up with less chips, with more help, against less competition?
I don't know, man.
Playing more
I
years
don't
than anyone.
Let's scale it
Young,
back, guys.
bro. Vince
Yeah,
Carter played a
it's
bunch of
Jay,
years
Jay. All
too.
right.
Let's scale it back because we I don't want to turn into one of these these pods that is always talking about goats. I think we need, like I said before, and I've said in the text, I think we need to let these each of these players be great in their own generations. We
Sure.
cannot
Hey,
continue
let's
to we
have let's
cannot continue to compare people to Kobe, to Michael, to Larry Bird. Like LeBron is great for his time. You know what I mean? Like he was the guy right after Kobe. Like
yeah, yes,
that's just it. And now it's now is Shea the next guy?
yeah.
Shea,
Well,
yeah, we're not comparing Shea to
Steph was
Kobe.
in there too. Yeah.
We're not comparing Shea to MJ. We're not comparing Shea to Kobe. Shea is just going to be great for this generation. And
speaking
I think,
speaking
Yeah.
but
speaking to that, at least, I think a more fair comparison, LeBron, is to compare him to Steph. They're in the same generation. They're both drafted by franchises that were terrible at the time. Like when Steph got drafted by the Warriors, they hadn't won anything in years. Same with the Cavs. Steph stayed with the Warriors and won. LeBron went to a bunch of teams and won. That is a more fair apples to apples comparison, even
Yeah,
though they're two totally different players. Same
totally
generation,
different type of players.
We're talking about comparing careers then, not players.
or just comparing greatness.
Comparing greatness within the same generation,
Yeah.
like playing against each other.
Mhm.
And they have
And
the
they went
same,
head to head like 4 times in a row.
they're four each, right? They have four
Yeah,
championships each.
they have four each.
Yeah.
And without that Draymond suspension, we all know. We
Yeah,
all know.
We
he
do.
lifted the leg really high, like he was
We
like
all
he
know.
just came out of like Krav Maga classes or whatever, and he was like, okay, he lifted the leg. Anyway, okay, fine. We can debate this for another hour probably, but I think guys, this is probably gonna be a good one. This is a spirited, feisty debate. I mean, I'm glad we waited to do this Lakers sale and LeBron stuff until all four of us were here, and we've been wanting to do this for a long time. So, um,
For our fan
This
base
is
in
a good
LA,
example of our text group.
yeah,
I mean,
this is a more this is yeah.
it's worthy of an entire show for most of our 15, LA fan base over there, 15 viewers.
So I would say shout out to Arik and Chris for following us on YouTube. Appreciate that, guys. We're watching.
Word.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you all.
yeah, thank
We
you all.
appreciate you.
Happy Fourth. Any final remarks, guys, before I stop this recording here? We're good.
Happy
I think we
4th.
nailed it.
Stay safe. Don't drink and drive.
You can drive.
And
Oh yeah,
Right.
Beneath the Myers show on July 24th, 8 p.m.
there
at
you
the
go.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Be there. All right, y'all. We out.
Peace.
Bye.